Hey everybody, welcome to Play Like a Jet Zone, live here from the TOJ studios. Thanks for joining us, everybody. And for everybody new who's just, make sure you subscribe to the channel. First off, really appreciate all the support. And jump in the YouTube live chat, which is either over here or down below, depending on how you're watching. Drop in questions, comments, and more here on the podcast. All right, the Jets dropped to 0-11. Another loss, another L that the Jets catch. And we're going to get into a lot of different things here on the post-game show. First off, I want to give two quick shout-outs to our sponsors. First off, Play Like a Jet Zone. This is made by El Chapo Flags. Search them out on Facebook. And great prices and great product. Number two, Greene's Oswego award-winning chicken wing sauce. That's in the YouTube description down below. Text them, hit them up. They got a bunch of different wing sauces, support local. But let's jump right into this. And first off, I think we have to address the obvious elephant in the room. And this is a tweet I sent out, and I referenced Star Wars. You know, when it's Obi-Wan and Anakin Skywalker, and Anakin's like kind of has his leg chopped off, and he's right there by the lava. And Obi-Wan's like, "You were the chosen one. You were supposed to be different. You were supposed to bring balance to the Force." Every time Sam Darnold does something wrong, I feel like Obi-Wan. I'm like, Sam, you were supposed to be the guy. And if you listen to my weekly Jet Zone podcast every Wednesday, I had an intro that had my reaction, my raw reaction. Someone had a camera on me the week or draft day when Sam Darnold was drafted. And I do mock drafts every week. And I had the Jets picking Sam Darnold third overall. I just had an inkling that was going to happen. And I was so elated, so excited. Oh, my God, Sam Darnold, I called it, woohoo! And all the Jet fans out there, you know, they had their franchise quarterback, the week one Detroit Lions game, throws the pick six, and then comes back. We're like, oh, my God, we got a franchise quarterback. But I think we have to address the obvious here, and I love all the chats. We'll get into the comments here in a second. By the way, I do have Jaguars-Browns here on the TV on the side for Tank for Trevor talk. But I thought that Sam Darnold was the chosen one. But we have to be honest with ourselves. God, two awful interceptions. The first one, he was rolling out, throwing across his body, intercepted. They were in field goal range, a no-no for a quarterback. And then the second one, there was a great camera angle looking from Sam Darnold's point of view at the receiver, and Xavier Howard, like, sitting on his pocket. He throws the ball, intercepted. I mean, as much of a Sam Darnold fan as I am, and man, he makes such wow plays. His ability to improvise, his ability to keep plays alive, escape the pocket. He just made some dumb throws, some shitty throws. And I'm like, oh, Sam, man, it sucks because finally he got his weapons back. Denzel Mims got hurt in the first quarter, but immediately came back, and he looked really good. We'll talk about him in a second. But, man, Sam Darnold had the weapons. He still sucked. He was bad, man. He had some throws, a couple of wow throws. The Rashad Perriman rainbow throw early in the game was nice. But overall, I think we have to be honest with ourselves, Jet fans. Yikes. Now, I don't think it's all on Sam, and I feel like I have to kind of create that conversation every time because I think the organization has done him a horrible disservice with offensive line and weapons. But, man, if we're calling it how we see it, Sam Darnold, terrible. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. So, you know, that part of it is a struggle because I think that Sam Darnold can be a guy for somebody. It won't be with the Jets if the Jets have the number one pick, and they certainly look that way. Let's jump into the comments here. We got Jim CBW, Jackson a battle today. Again, I got it up on the screen. Browns facing a 3rd and 1, and I'm probably a little bit delayed, so I won't give you the play-by-play. But Jaguars, Browns in a close one, so let's keep an eye out that for Tank for Trevor. Nick Folk bangs a game-winning 59-yard field goal. Oh, he did. Oh, phenomenal. Wow. Folk hero. He did do that a little bit for the playoff conversation. But that was really it. And Browns just get the first down. They're probably going to beat the Jaguars. So, oh well. But the Jets lost, so they still have that game buffer. But I'd like even more than that. Let's keep going here. J-Viz. Again, and for everybody who's jumping in, first off, hit subscribe. Appreciate the support. And drop in questions and comments here in the YouTube live chat as we kind of talk about this one. J-Viz, I wish we could see a quarterbackless Broncos versus the Jets. How bad would it be if the practice squad wide receiver, whoever they put behind center, beats Darnold's stat line? That's, to me, the struggle. Sam Darnold under 200 yards passing, and really, man, he just looked bad. And while they have two backup offensive linemen in, the left guard, Alex Lewis, was out, not for a health reason. George Fant was out at right tackle. His backup, Chuma Edoga, was out at right tackle. So they were going with Connor McDermott. So he had backup dudes in front of him, but he had all his weapons. It was god-awful. It was just, there's no other way to put it. It was, when the defense gave them chances, a couple of forced fumbles. Here you go, Neville Hewitt. Oh, nice. Jordan Jenkins punches the ball out. The Jets have the ball at the plus 45. If you can't do it then, when can you do it? And when the Jets had opportunities to get back in the game, so both of those opportunities, offense, they suck. Let's rewind to the end of the first half. Adam Gase is playing for a field goal. Dude, you're down 10, and you're, I don't know, 0-10. What are you doing, man? Go for the touchdown, you pussy. Jesus. I mean, come on, man. So, like, when he was set up for the field goal, when they missed it, I'm like, damn it, you good karma. Screw you, man. Go for the touchdown. Like, where's the chutzpah? This team's 0-10. What do you have to lose? And I heard them on the broadcast, so and I know those guys at home from the couch are going to be quarterbacking this one. Dude, go for the touchdown at the end of the first half. Come on, man. Pathetic. Like, golly. I mean, and I hate the coaches, and that's a good point, Javis, but I hate the point of, like, trying to get shut out. By the way, the Jets already had 3 points. They opened with 3 points, so they wouldn't have got shut out. But they had that 3-0 lead right at the beginning of the game. But again, like, what are we playing for here? Like, when people kick the field goal, the Buccaneers did it a couple weeks ago when they were getting railrodded by the New Orleans Saints to kick a field goal late. I'm like, dude, show some pride, for God's sakes. I don't want some meaningless 3 points getting shut out. That's just pathetic. Vinny, Sam looked good. Pass protection was nice, too. I disagree, Vinny. I don't think Sam looked good. I thought he had several horrible interceptions that game, too, in particular. And sometimes he didn't have time, and obviously that's on him, the backup offensive lineman in the game. But I did not think Sam looked good. I thought he had a couple of moments, but overall, it just leads you to believe that, like, again, I talked about the brilliance of Sam Darnold. You can't have – those are inexcusable turnovers. That cost them the game to have a real chance in the game. And in general, that didn't happen. So you can't have those inexcusable plays. Those are rookie plays, rookie mistakes, and you can't do it. And he did it and continues to do it. And I think that's a frustration among Jet fans is, man, you can't make those mistakes. You can't make those errors. And ultimately, I think that's why the Jets are going to have a new quarterback next year. But I do believe they'll still be able to trade him for some pieces. One piece they want to trade for, Denzel Mims. I still think they need more wide receivers in fairness. Brashad Perriman is a pending free agent. But to the point, Denzel Mims looked good. And the thing that really stands out to me about Denzel Mims, I called him a young Brandon Marshall a couple weeks ago, very physical receiver. But what I love about him is his ability to catch away from the body. Okay, you see the hands, his ability to reach out and extend and catch the ball and then bring it home. I mean, incredible concentration, great focus, great physicality. Denzel Mims continues to pop. And here's the thing. Again, the numbers won't wow you. He had a lot more targets in this game than he's ever had. Really a career day by all measures for Denzel Mims. But the thing that really continues to pop for me is that even though the stats aren't going to wow fantasy people, okay, he's on the 32nd ranked offense in the league. What he's doing is super impressive. It's basically the equivalent of having like 150 yards for a real NFL team. So Denzel Mims, keep doing it, pal. Thank God. There's been so many second-round busts for the Jets over the years. Stephen Hill, Devin Smith. It looks like, again, it's early, that Denzel Mims is definitely on the up and up. Brashad Perriman had a very good game with some wonderful catches. Jamison Crowder seemed a little more quiet, more reserved than normal. Nonetheless, the wide receivers certainly are popping, and that's what I love from Denzel Mims. And it seemed for a second, Sam Darnold's never had his full healthy wide receivers until this game. Denzel Mims gets hurt in the first quarter. You think, oh, boy, here we go again. And you know, so the weapons were there for Sam, and still there were moments where he didn't look much different. Receivers definitely showed up. I was scared of Mims, and for good reason. Denzel is a freak. I think opportunities, more reps, he's going to be very good. Back to Jay Viz. I love Jet fans because they remain sane and realistic despite all the abuse the franchise puts on them, versus Cowboys fans who are eternally delusional about who their team actually is. That's a good point. My dad actually is a diehard Dallas Cowboys fan. Here's the thing for me. And I almost feel like going to whatever scene it is, it's like Rocky after he gets hit a couple of times, right? And then you just hear that ringing. It's almost like a bomb explodes in a war movie, and it's just that ringing. I can't mimic it, or I would. And the body punches it. Like my spirit has left my body. Like, oh, for some of these Jet games where like losing, 20-3 or whatever the final score was for this Jets game, like, it doesn't, like, I'll tell you, in a normal season where you're fighting for the playoffs, like, this is such a unique year. You're winless at this point, the worst year in Jets history, that, like, the losses aren't crippling. Like, I'm flying on the ground, like, ah! Like, I'm telling you, I'll be in the fetal position. I'll be pissed off after a Jets loss. In this year, it's different. I mean, it sucks they lose, like, removed as a fan, but, like, at the same time, like, normal years, I'm like, oh, Jesus, now they lost this, they lost that. They've just been getting blown out all year, so I really don't have the same effect as normal. Yes, Saving Private Ryan, exactly. That's what it is for me. I'm not feeling these losses like I normally would. And wins obviously haven't happened yet, so I don't have the same feeling and juices that I normally would for a season like this. So I feel almost surgical. I feel almost like I'm not even a Jets fan analyzing these games and these post games. It doesn't feel quite that way, which is kind of wild, which is kind of crazy to think about. But nonetheless, again, when they lose, I'm not rooting for them to lose, but when they lose, I'm like, hey, you know what? Oh, I'm looking for the silver lining, looking for what is positive here. Another positive, Mekhi Becton started pillar to post. Unless I missed something, A to Z, start to finish, Mekhi Becton played a game without coming out, without getting hurt. And again, he's a big dude. He's been impressive. He's leading the AFC in Pro Bowls for offensive tackles. So terrific for him. He's a building block for the future. I wanted to see him healthy. He's had a couple of nagging things, which has been bothering some Jet fans about his durability. And certainly at that size, I think he does have to lose a little bit of weight. But that was encouraging as well. You could be a torn fan like us Washington fans are, want them to tank, yet they're tied for first. See, that's the thing. I wonder how differently I would feel if I was in the NFC East and it was like there, right? Like, because I saw a screenshot, I think it was like last week. The NFC East, 3 of the 4 teams in the NFC East were in the top 5 of the NFL draft if the draft ended like last week. But also, if they won this game, this game, this game, this game, they have a home playoff game. I will say this, and this is kind of a weird aside. I know the NFL ruled on this year to possibly, reseed and, like if the Cowboys make it or Giants or Eagles or Washington football team, whoever you are, if you make it in at like 5-11, let's just say as an example, that you shouldn't get a home playoff game because your record sucks. To me, I disagree. If you win the division, every year is different. Like a decade ago, the NFC West sucked. Now it's the best division out there. So I think there's so much turnover that I don't care about all of that crap. To me, if you win the division, you get a home playoff game. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I don't care what your record is. Doesn't matter. If you win your division, you earned your ticket, in my opinion. I know some people are saying, man, it's a disgrace that a 6-10 Washington team will host a playoff game. Not to me. Hey, them's the rules. And if people remember the beast mode run, Seattle, they were 7-19 that year, and the defending Super Bowl champion New Orleans Saints flew to Seattle to play that game. I don't think that happens in the same way. So to me, hey, that's the playoffs. That's why you play the games. Let's jump more into some of these. Becton was also very scary. Yeah, he's a beast. Washington looked very good on Thursday. I was surprised. I'll be honest. Dallas looked good, beating Minnesota on Sunday, and the Vikings were red hot. And then they won that game. I'm like, oh boy, here come the Cowboys. And then Washington beats the piss out of them. I will also say the Cowboys did a lot of weird crap in that game. They're weird reverses and going for it on 4th down from their own territory. That fake punt was god awful. But yeah, I love Alex Smith. So the year before his gruesome injury, I said Washington was going to win the division that year. I said it before the season. I prefer to think Dallas just looked worse. That's a good way to look at it. NFC East bar pretty low. That started it all. It sure did. Everyone who's jumping in, drop in the YouTube live chat. Drop questions, comments. Hit the subscribe button. Appreciate the support for the pod. Let's see what else we have here. Oh, yeah. Definitely got to bring that up. Right before the game, Adam Gase takes over play calling, and there was a lot of situational play calling that was terrible. I brought up the end of the first half. Awful. That was terrible. Let me bring up a positive. Harvey Langi, the linebacker, he's been good for the last month for the Jets, both in coverage and he also had that fumble recovery as well. Harvey has looked pretty good. Mekhi's looked good. Denzel Mims has looked good. The defense gave them some opportunities in that one. They look good as well. And then Devontae Parker challenge catch. Again, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter because the Jets are terrible. But, come on. There's no way that Devontae Parker bobbling catch was a catch. It was an incompletion. They throw the challenge flag, and then it should have been overturned. So that was a terrible call by the officials. And like I said, in a normal year, I would have been a lot more pissed off. You would have heard me yelling and screaming and pulling what little hair left I have in my head about it. But again, hey, It is what it is. But it was stupid. It was a horrible call. But here's the thing. Okay, every week over the last 3 weeks, the Jets have had, again, the most winnable game on the schedule. The Dolphins, they just lost. The Chargers, they lost. The Patriots, they lost. They found ways to lose. Here's the games they have left. Seattle, they're going to beat the piss out of the Jets. The Rams, they're going to beat the piss out of the Jets. Like some of these teams, like the Browns, like they had a competitive game against Jacksonville. That one looks a little iffy. But the Patriots, I think, will be playing for something, and it sounds like they got that game-winning field goal. I kind of tuned out after I jumped in on the live feed here, but I think they're going to have something to play for. So you look at these games, you're like, oh, boy. Vegas just got railrodded by Atlanta, so maybe. But I think after getting railrodded, I don't think they're going to be, quote-unquote, caught by surprise by anybody. And I think they remember the Jets beating the piss out of them last year. So I think they'll bring that one up. So I just don't see the dub. And that's going to make a lot of Jet fans happy. So, Trevor Lawrence time. And if they have the number 1 pick, I may be getting that Trevor Lawrence jersey early, baby. Maybe getting that early. The one thing I don't know how to adjust my shrine. You guys can't see it from the live feed. I won't kind of throw you around and be sloppy. But so I got my man cave here. I got the Sam Darnold fat head right here. Wonder what I'm doing with that. And then I got the Sam Darnold autographed hat. I got this Jets draft hat at Sam Darnold. Almost as soon as he walked off the podium and he was drafted by the Jets, he signed this hat. And the NFL did this Instagram contest and gave it away, and I won that contest. That's a really cool item. But now with Sam Darnold, this is kind of the legacy of Sam Darnold. Like, where do I move that in the man cave? What's the priority here on this? So that's a one thing, I guess, I got to figure out, quote unquote, first world problem as a fan. I got to think about that one as well. Let's go back. Definitely not a catch, Vinny. I appreciate the truth. Beast Mode started the rise of the Seahawks. Yep, that's true. I'm telling you on record, the Jets for Seahawks, it's a prime setting for a Jets upset. Wouldn't that be something? And I don't know how Jet fans could be upset about the Jamal Adams kind of giving it to him, which would be kind of funny. That would be certainly funny. The Jaguar, I would have loved the cushion, JS. I would have loved the cushion if Jaguars could have won the game. Then the Jets, in theory, have a 2-game gap. It's really only a 1-game gap because, again, strength of schedule. But that would have looked good. The sweep is in, and more on that, C-Tins. I believe I just had the numbers in front of me earlier, but long story short, the Dolphins have been beating the piss out of it. It has not been competitive with the Jets and Dolphins. I think this is the 7th win by the Dolphins the last 6 years or something. Like, the Dolphins have just been beating the crap out of the Jets. It has not been close. And then another sweep for the Dolphins. And I'm rooting. Now, I see what Miami does. Again, people forget about this, but the last time the AFC East winner was not the Patriots, wasn't the Bills. They hadn't won it since '95. The Dolphins, Chad Pennington, they won it that year, of course, in the tiebreaker against the New England Patriots. So, hey, if the Dolphins are going to upset the apple cart here and potentially win the division, I mean, they got to make some magic happen. That would be fascinating, certainly. The offense still sucks. Yeah, Vinny, I'll say the Dolphins, Devontae Parker looked very good. But, right, a lot of inconsistencies. I'm sure, Ahmed, the running back being out, probably didn't help. And they kind of have had kind of a committee there. The defense had moments. That'll be a good one. The Bills obviously have already beaten the Dolphins once. I believe that Dolphins-Bills game is Week 17, if I remember correctly. So that'll be a game to keep an eye out for. I'd love it. The NFL schedule makers, they know something we don't. They planned that back in April and released that schedule. So hopefully that's a game for the division or the playoffs or something. That'd be a lot of fun. Kind of removed, obviously, as a fan. So I hope we see that. That'd be a lot of fun. I would love to see that again. If it's not the Patriots, I've said this before, but I got a lot of friends that are obviously we're all in the AFC East kind of together here as Jets fans and Bills fans and Dolphins fans. And every year before the year starts, I put my hand in the middle with all my other Bills or Dolphins friends and fans of the team. We put our hands in the middle and we're like, one of us has to win it this year for the Patriots, boys. One of us has to do this. And then we're like, 1, 2, 3, break. And then so we hope. Obviously, most of the time we've done that, it's failed miserably. So I'm hoping that this is the year for one of you guys. Obviously, it's not the year for the Jets, so I'll be rooting for one of you two. Either the Bills fans who are in here or the Dolphins fans. One of you guys find a way to do it. We have a lot of draft and work to do. And that's the thing that should be promising about the future is I think Houston's going to keep winning, so I don't think that Texans pick is going to be as good as people think. I didn't think that way back when either. But the Jets are going to have 4 first-round picks over the next 2 years, including likely the number 1 pick. The Dolphins still have a bunch of picks. The Texans, second-round pick, and the first. So they're going to have a lot of ammunition to make even more moves, and they've been impressive as is. We'll see if Tua is certainly the guy here. I know we got a good variety here of fans. I've had Dolphins fans in here, Bills fans in here, a little bit of everything. Normally, who the team that we play, those fans come in as well. All right, JS, I'm the outlier here, the Washington football fan here. Yeah, the what the fuck fan. Yeah, that's a good one. And we'll see. Yeah, hey, I'm fine. Whatever the fandom is, I respect it. I'm a huge NFL fan, so I love it. C-10s can't believe Texans beat Lions 45 points. Yeah, again, for Dolphins fans that I'm sure are rooting for Houston losses so you could get that pick back. Seahawks, all right, I love the representation in here. The Texans, again, I just think they're going to find ways to win games. Deshaun Watson's too damn good. The Lions suck. And they're just god-awful. So, that's no surprise. But I think they're going to keep finding ways to win games, that being Houston. But nonetheless, even still, the Seattle first-round pick that we're going to have, I don't care if it's the end of the first round, that's still going to help. Texans need to slow the hell down. Yeah, but we'll see if that helps you guys out for the draft picks and whatnot. All right, everybody. Well, we'll be back next week, so appreciate all the love in the live chat. This is cool. Thanks, guys. This is awesome doing this every week, so make sure you hit the subscribe if you haven't already. And also feel free to share the episode after the fact. Something you love, something you didn't. Love the feedback as well. All right, everybody. Thanks, C-Tins, JS, JViz, and everybody. You guys have a good one. Love talking to you guys. We'll see you next week. All right, enjoy the rest of the NFL games. Happy holidays.